All right, guys, welcome back to part two of replacing these brakes. So, went to, where'd I go? Advanced Auto Parts. Bought these Platinum Professional Series because they'll just last longer. They're ceramic brake pads, which will work fine here. And they come with the shims and everything. I'm actually gonna probably skimp out and do what I'm not supposed to do, and I'm not going to replace these shims. And the reason is, oh, let me get a better view here for y'all. Okay, when we say shims, these are what we're talking about. Now, your brake pads slide on these. Usually these would have to be replaced if they were severely rusted and worn and stuff like that. But looking at these, OEM, I hate to say it, is usually always better, always. And these shims are fine. I'm not gonna F with these. These are fine. Now, brake pads, you say. Well, here are those shims I tell you about that the Professional Series come with. Oh, and if you want a part number, these are the Wherever Platinum Professional. That's your part number right there. I mean, and of course, ceramic. Funny enough, made in India. That's where I'm from. Well, I'm kind of from. All right, when we open these beauties, what do we have? Well, we have what we bought. We have brake pads. Brake pads. Notice? They're slightly different. One has a noisemaker on it, just like our stock pad. See how thick these are? This is what they're supposed to be like. Not what we took off. Alright, so here's our noisemaker off the old one. Throw that down. New pad, new noisemaker. Look at how thick and beefy these things are. These things look effing beautiful. They do. And here's one for the other side, right? Well, how do you tell which side goes where? So, rule of thumb, they really fit either direction on this car. On some cars, the shims have a little loop that goes through here. But on this, in the rear, there's no loop. So, on this car, these came out, actually, this one made it up with that. So this one actually went in the back. So we know now that the one with the noisemaker, and also because of the curvature, right, it's curved, is gonna go in the back here. And our new one, I've got another light actually. Got another light, which just fell down. I know this is ghetto. You know what? It's fine. I'll use the light off of my phone. And the other one, because of the curvature, is going to go right here. And we know it well because there's no other place for it to go, as such. Now, brakes are fun because they're quite a pain sometimes. Let me see if I can make a thing here for us. Let me see if I can put this camera somewhere while I show you how to do this. And in this box is a packet of grease. Now, obviously, not a good idea to put grease between your rotor and your brake pads. What this is for is actually for the backs of the brake pads. The backs of the brake pads, what do you mean? Well, if you don't put grease on the back of the brake pads down the road, they're going to start making noises. Noises are bad. So, we're going to do that. I'm just trying to figure out where to position this camera. Let's see. This will work. again, please excuse the horrible shoddy work. So what we're gonna do is rip this open. Hate bugs, but they're all over the effing place. Just make sure I get this all mixed up in there in case, well, you know, it's separated or whatever. Is there a thing to open this with properly? Probably not. So we'll just do that. Now, on the backs of the brake pad, not the front, the back, we just put a little bit. Right, just like that. Right, just put a little bit on the back of that, and a little bit on the back of that. We're gonna save that. And what we're gonna do, which they say this is bad for your skin, but so is everything, right? Just make sure you don't get any of this on the contact surface, or else it's not gonna be a good day. Do that. And do that. Just like that. All right. Now, yeah, I know it's not the best, but it's what works. That's why not everybody does this kind of work, because it's freaking messy. And, ugh, what stuff reads. And it's just easier to pay someone to do it. If you got the money like that, you know what I mean? Now, get these old brake pads out of the way. New brake pads. The grease on the back, covered, check. Put this. I'm going to show you guys, give me a minute. This there, that there, okay? So that slides in there, that slides in there. Now, theoretically, oh, hey, this usually never goes this smoothly for me. That brake pad, ladies and gentlemen, is in. Okay, it's one brake pad in. Now, the slightly painful one, this one. The ones in the back are always more painful because you can't see an effing thing. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to put you back here again where I had you before. My shoddy camera work. And hopefully this captures everything that I do and all my yelling and screaming and cursing, which I hopefully don't have to do. So this goes in here. Then there's part. Oops, don't want to bend that. That goes there. Oh wow, look at me. Superstar today with brake pads. Now, here's one last thing you have to do. One last thing you have to do. When you get your brake pads in, that side and that side, this needs to be pushed back in, because otherwise it's not going to fit over them, because as the other brake pads shrunk, this pushed out. So we're going to push this back in. Now, a lot of people have different ways of doing this. I have I don't use the C-clamp method, because I actually went out and bought one of these things that compresses these pistons. However, before we do that, if I can find my hood release, it's one thing I like to do. It tends to save your master cylinder. Bear with me, guys. So, what I like to do is, where's my light? Okay. This is your brake fluid reservoir. Well, it is on mine. So I like to loosen this because when we're going to compress the caliper piston, it's going to push back fluid up into the system. And I'd rather have it come up here a little bit, but you also got to watch this. You don't want to overflow the stuff because it is horrible for your paint. Now, where is that thing? Oh, yeah. In the toolbox, we have this. Now here's how this works. You need to compress this piston. This is going to do so. I, however, don't like doing it this way. So what I'm going to do is one-handed. This sucks. Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So what I did here is that I put one of the old brake pads in between there and the mechanism that moves this. Now what this is going to do, one-handed, is this is going to move on me. There we go. You keep tightening this and you'll notice that gets compressed, which is exactly what we want. Now you want to be easy on this because that rubber boot that's over that, you don't want that to rip. As we're tightening this, folks, we need to go over and see if we're overflowing our reservoir. Which, well, actually, you know what? We're done. So that's bottomed out. We back this off. Take that out. Take that out. Now you'll notice that is one fully compressed piston. Theoretically, this should slide right over. And let me do that one more time for you guys. Slides right over. And boom, we're golden. Now, before I put that bolt in, I want to show you guys something what I was talking about. This had no fluid at the top. As we compressed that, fluid came out up top. Now that we're done with that side, and I'll tell you why, we're going to close that so as to seal it back up. Now I'm just going to put this bolt back in that I conveniently put somewhere where it's not right now. Because, you know, cars and me. Alright, this, hopefully, oh yeah, goes back in here. Now here's where y'all yell at me. Ready? I get it. I don't have torque spec on this. Yeah, yellow screen, I know. But I do know not to over tighten this because it doesn't have to be. Okay, that's not done yet. I'm gonna put the camera down and I'm gonna tighten this. That we didn't touch. We just double checked. This is tight. And that's it, guys. Look at our new pads in there. This actually, you can't see it because it's very minimal movement, but there is actually movement here, which there should be because this needs to slide, right? And that's it, guys. Now I'm just going to repeat the same process on the other side, and that is how you do a rear brake change on a 2012 Nissan Altima. The videos are going to get better. It's just going to take some time. I have to go and buy an actual camera to record these things with, guys. So bear with me. One side is done. I'm not going to bore you with the other, but it's the same process. Take the wheel off, securely jack up your car, take the top caliper bolt out, flip the caliper down, take your two brake pads out, throw them down, take your new brake pads, put the grease on the backs of them so that they don't make noise, put them back in as I showed you, one on either side, compress your caliper piston carefully, flip the piston, your caliper back up, put the bolt in, tighten it down, wheel back on, and you are done. All right guys, love y'all, peace.